Hello everybody, Tony Soto here with the Q.co, and today we are going to talk about Pride Film and Play's world premiere of Under a Rainbow Flag. And what better people to talk to than the writer of the show, Mr. Leo Schwartz, and director of this hit new play, David Zach.
Hello.
Hi guys, how are you tonight?
Hi Tony, how are you?
Thank you for coming and talking to me about this new show that's coming. This is a musical, correct?
Correct.
David, what exactly is the show about?
It's inspired by true stories of a guy who still lives in Chicago. John Phelps is a young boy from Streator, Illinois, who Leo met many years ago and started collecting his stories. And on the troop train where he was going from Chicago to the West Coast, he meets three other guys who he happens to have an awful lot in common with. So it's really the story of those four soldiers and their relationships through the war and the 10 years afterwards. So it's great. It's a really, really exciting, really fun, really high energy piece that people will really have a good time at, I think.
Now, this is a show that touches on issues, LGBTQ issues, during World War II.
Right.
So tell us about what inspired you to write this show.
Well, I wanted to write a piece that was celebratory of gays and lesbians serving the armed services in America. And what I discovered in my interviews was that there was this whole subculture that I didn't even know existed. I never dreamed that it existed, particularly during World War II. But this is all, of course, pre-Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Mm-hmm. But people were just gay and were just out to a great deal of degree, and it didn't cause anybody any problems, it seems. And this was true of every interview I did.
I mean, we're everywhere. We're everywhere, and we have been for a long, long time. John Phillips, what was it like sitting and talking to him and hearing these stories?
Well, he was just very forthcoming with information, and he's a great raconteur. He loves telling stories, and I've heard many of them over and over again. But
he ended up working for the city of Chicago in the Department of Special Events. So he worked for Mayor Daley, Mayor Byrne, 6 or 7 different mayors. So he's obviously someone who's very social and very chatty and loves people in every shape and form. So when he came to talk to the cast, it was hilarious because he, has no censor in some ways. He was just talking about, horrible things happening on the war front, and then somebody drags you into the bushes to get a blowjob.
Oh.
Yeah, the cast
that is
reacted.
Never a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. The cast reacted just like that. They were like, and he's 90 years old, so it's a little, funny to hear that kind of story.
That's right, absolutely. I want
old.
that crudeness from my 90-year-old. Let's talk about the cast of the show and what the process has been like putting this together.
Sure. There's 10. It's a group of 9 guys and 1 woman. And so they're having a blast. That's like Kyrie Anderson is the girl, so I think of it as Kyrie and the boys because they really get along really well. They're all Chicago regulars. Nick Stockwell plays Gibbs, who's one of the love interests in the show. He's loved by both the woman and the man. Sam Button Harrison plays John Phillips, and so it's a little bit of a 3-way love triangle between the 3 of those characters. And then there's a group of really, really fun singers and dancers who are really great people to watch on stage. I think people will really have a great time. So there's dancing, a lot of comedy, a lot of hijinks. It's a good time.
The songs are actually, really fun, and some are quite lovely. What is it like to actually hear them being sang now that you've been in rehearsals?
Oh, it's amazing. I turned the show over about 2 weeks ago. It quit becoming my show because they have invested so much of themselves in it. It really, I'd sit there often going, who wrote this? I have no idea. I don't have a clue.
Do you think that's a good thing?
I think it is a good thing. I think that it helps give me distance and perspective, and it's just wonderful to hear these talented actors and performers just inhabit these roles. They're really doing phenomenal work.
And it's always fun to do a new piece because the actors, we respect their opinions.
Sure.
So if the scene is not quite working, or a line is not quite landing, or if the introduction of the song is not quite sitting right, they're very frank and just saying, "Hey, help us."
So there's been some open communication throughout this whole process.
Yes.
It kind of have to be if it's a new work, right?
And I love rewriting.
Oh yeah,
Just rewriting
you do.
things. Oh, I do.
I don't even like reshooting. I'm not even doing a thing.
Yeah, he's been totally, not only writing it, but orchestrating it for our 4-piece band, but also in rehearsal every night going, try this, or here's a new lyric, or let's change this melody line just a little bit. And so it's been pretty impressive.
Well, then how much has it evolved since you started writing it to now then? Would you say it's a completely different show from when you started, or?
Well, we did a stage reading in April of last year. So since then, it's probably And that was, was at Center Hall. So it was a sold out sort of smash. It was really hilarious. But probably a third of the show is new since then.
David, after that, our first meeting after that performance, David asked me to pull some of the relationships out and explore them a little bit more, which was really quite fun to do.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to do that and fill out some of the characters a little more and put a song here, a song there.
Yeah. So you learn from what the audience said at that reading, and then what that group of actors said. So some of that team has moved forward with us. So that's been really nice that some of those people have been with the project for a year or so, and others came in this round of auditions, and so it's really great to Chicago is such a great theater town.
Absolutely.
There's so many talented people who are so smart and funny and sexy and all that stuff. So we really love being in rehearsal with this group.
Why should people today come and see this show?
Well, I think it's about love and love lost and love found and love accepted. I mean, I don't know if it's as timely as we want to say that gays in the military are, there are certainly issues revolving about whether or not two men can get together and how they build that relationship in the late 1940s and early 1950s. But I think it speaks across the gay line specifically. Right. I mean, I think it's sort of pansexual in many ways.
And because of the relationships, some people are single, some people are, the central character is sort of dealing on a bisexual sort of character.
Buy now, gay later.
I know, exactly.
You'll get there, baby.
Yeah.
Where can people go and see this play, and when is it playing?
It starts March 21st to April 21st, and it's at the Main Stage Theater, which is on Broadway in Buena, 4139 North Broadway. We generally play Thursdays through Sundays, evening performances. Sundays are matinees, and then there's some Wednesdays in April 3rd, 10th, 17th, Wednesday night.
And how can we get tickets?
brownpapertickets.com.
brownpapertickets.com. Please go out and see the show. I'm going to see it. I'm going to talk about it on the QCast on Monday. So be looking out for that. David, Zach, and Leo Schwartz, thank you so much for joining me and talking about the show. And have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.